conference, we decided that we are now going to return the land to our people. We are going to expropriate land without compensation.
Expropriation of land without compensation. Onteiening van grond sonder vergoeding. In order for the government to do this, they have to change Article 25 of the South African Constitution. This is extremely dangerous, people. A change to Article 25 does not only affect land, but also in effect also affects all property. This is communism, people. There's only two scenarios that will be played out. Number one, Article 25 is changed and almost instantly, land grabs on an unprecedented scale will take place all over South Africa. Number two, Article 25 is unchanged and found to be unconstitutional, at which point the masses of this country who've now been promised land will burn this country to the ground.
Nobody has any right to invade land, to violate other people's rights. We should be a country where if you have concerns or complaints, you should raise them formally and they should be heeded and addressed.
We have, over the past 24 years, formally submitted document after document. I have here a compilation of documents entitled Settlement of Boer Afrikaner People's Claim to Territorial Self-Determination, in which Paul Kruger has laid out the exhaustion of every possible remedy to self-determination under international law. People of South Africa, the 19th of April 1672 is an extremely significant day in the history of South Africa. This was the day that the Krudop Agreement, the very first land agreement, exactly 346 years ago today, was signed by our forefathers. That is both the settlers and the Khoi, the original nomadic tribes in the Cape at the time. This agreement shows firstly that negotiations for land took place, secondly that payment for land was both agreed and paid. This also shows the claim by Ramaphosa and Malema that the black African tribes occupied this land before the settlers arrived is completely and utterly unfounded.
Ek het nou vir Christo Jonk op die foon. Hy is verteenwoordiger van Boerelegioen. Môre Christo, waarvoor staan die Boerelegioen?
Môre Brian. Die Boerelegioen staan vir vrede, vryheid, veiligheid en privaatheid van ons mense.
Christo, hoekom ondersteun julle vir Yusuf?
Ons ondersteun Yusuf, want as 'n groep mense bymekaar kom en besluit om die pad vorentoe saam te stap, is dit belangrik dat ons dieselfde eindbestemming in gedagte moet hê, selfbeskikking. As ons ons oë toemaak, sien ons 'n land met 'n nie-rassige gemeenskap wat bestaan uit verskillende rasse, kultuurgroepe wat hand aan hand saamwerk met Christelike beginsels om 'n land saam op te bou waarop ons kinders en ons nageslagte trots kan wees. 'n Land waar elkeen die reg het om sy eie kultuur uit te leef sonder om teen mekaar te diskrimineer.
En Christo, wat is die Boerelegioen se plan?
Die Boerelegioen neem alles wat die wet ons toelaat en maak dit ons eie en berei ons in die lyn met geopenbaarde bedreiging voor. Dit is ons reg om onsself en ons geliefdes en ons goed te verdedig, veral waar die owerheid oor die algemeen gebrek bly of onwillig is om dit te doen.
Baie dankie Christo.
So President Ramaphosa said that the land should be returned to our people. What he is saying is that the land should be given to black people under the notion that they somehow have a right to this land. The notion that the land in the Cape should be returned to the people is 100% correct. However, the land in the Cape should not be returned to black people, as they simply were not on the land until after 1700. The land should be returned to the descendants of the Khoi and the San, which today are the brown and the coloured people, and to the descendants of the settlers who bought and paid for this land through negotiation and arrived in the Cape around 100 years before there was any blacks in the Cape at all. The Crudop Agreement of 1672, which is a very specific over definition of territory, was also signed in perpetuity, which means that forever the land will belong to us. As the only people that were there at the time were the Khoi and the settlers, this area therefore belongs to us, the descendants. It's important to note that under international law, we as a people have a right to independence under several international treaties. It is also of paramount importance to note that we have exhausted all remedies with the current ANC government. Therefore, we could actually just take back the land that was agreed to start with. But in order not to contravene any international laws, we are now going to secede the land back to its original people. At the same time, we are going to secede the whole of the Western Cape under mandate from you, the people. The ANC government has been notified of our intention to secede due to corruption, incompetence, racist policies against minorities, and by the self-serving ANC government. So today, on the anniversary of the Crudop Agreement of 1672, this notice goes out to all of the brown and white people of the Cape and to all other descendants of the settlers and white people in South Africa. Today we give notice. We intend to secede with no further delay. We are united in this resolve. We have exhausted all remedies and completed all the necessities for secession. Today the clock starts ticking. The only thing we need to do is obtain the mandate from you, the people. We have set a time frame of 2 months in which to obtain the mandate. So thereby succession will take place at the end of June 2018, before the ANC changes the constitution. So how do we obtain the mandate? It's a lot easier than you might think. Each and every person simply registers on usaf.org.za. It takes all of 2 minutes to register, but this will ensure our independence. So now it's up to you. If you want independence, if you want to be self-governing, if you want to have your own confederate state, register now. Get all your friends and family to register. Only through doing this will we be free of land grabs, expropriation of land without compensation, an incompetent ANC government, totally corrupt. We will be free to pursue our own destiny. It's up to you.